How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Unpopular Opinion podcast and episode number 2 of the Knockouts. Once again, joined by KaliG98 and Benji. How are we doing, chaps?
Good, mate. Good.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
It's fair to say our predictions didn't go too well.
I got a quarter
I'm
right.
happy. I'm happy with some of mine. I'm happy.
What are you happy with? How many did you get right?
We'll see later on, but I'm pretty sure I did all right.
Yeah, I think I got 3. Ben, you said you got 2.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not great, chaps.
It's the two hardest games I made.
That's not bad.
Yeah, to be fair, there was a lot of shots, which we'll get into. Should we start with the Wales-Denmark game? That was a good way to start around the 16, really, wasn't it? A lot of goals, red cards, had pretty much everything we needed. Who did we have for that one? I think me and Carl had Denmark.
I think I had Denmark.
So Ben, just explain yourself, chap. Wales, they let you down.
I fancied Wales with a bit of character, I've just qualified through the group stage. I thought they got a bit of fire in the belly. Yeah, they didn't.
No, they didn't. They really didn't. Fair enough. No, they was poor.
They looked somewhat in the game, even at 2-0. Obviously, I know they got the 2 goals late on, but like the scoreline is very, very flattering still. Denmark were good and deserved the win, but 4-0 still flattering, I thought, because Wales were still in the game.
Yeah, they
big players didn't turn up. Their big players didn't turn up. Bale had a bit of a shocker. Ramsey wasn't great. Was he playing out of position for a lot of the game? I swear he was playing on the right wing.
He was playing off the right or something. Well, he kept going there anyway. Whether or not he was meant to, I don't know. But yeah, he seemed to.
Pleased with Denmark, though, obviously, with everything that's happened. If they get to the semi-finals, because I think they will beat Czech Republic, which obviously we'll come on to. But I'll feel bad when we beat them in the semis because they deserve to be where they get into. So yeah, it was a good game all round. The red card, what did we think of that? That was a bit.
Remind me.
That was the follow through. Yeah. I actually can't.
I'm trying to think actually
what
it was.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of.
You're thinking the Ukraine game. What was Wilson?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Oh, he just tripped someone, didn't he?
Yeah,
he just tripped someone.
Yeah. Oh.
Nah, I weren't having that.
Just tripped someone.
Yeah,
I thought that was awful. Never a red card.
No, I didn't think that was a red, but apparently.
The Ukraine one is the one I'm thinking of that was debatable, but debatable. We'll get onto it, but yeah, the Wales one was never a red card.
No,
so that's what I mean. Scoreline was flattering, but Wales did all right. But one right for us, Cal, Ben. Wales let you down, chap. But someone who hasn't let you down, Ben, is Italy. What? They got there in the end.
They did get there in the end. Scraped, by the way.
It wasn't.
I want to say it was a bit of magic from Chiesa.
It was.
Squad depth will get them to the final. I think they'll pack Belgium, but we'll get onto that later.
So Ben's predicting an Italy-England final. Nice. So it was a good game.
Ukraine, mate.
Yeah, I called them as underdogs. Yeah, it was a good game. Italy were a bit underwhelming, but Austria played well. But undoubtedly the best performance of their tournament. They saved the best for last. Literally.
I think it shows a bit of strength for Italy, though, because I mean, not Spain, France, Portugal, a lot of them struggled against supposedly weaker opposition and didn't get the win.
Yeah.
Italy managed to win the game.
This one went to extra time, though, didn't it?
Yeah. Chiesa.
Yeah.
What a goal, Chiesa, by the way.
Yeah, it weren't bad. But he don't really.
So you got the goal.
I don't think he'll start for him. Yeah.
Nah.
I don't think he'll ever start for him.
Wembley's a much bigger pitch than it is in Rome, which I don't think suits the Italians. Which hopefully come into play in the final if they get
there.
Yeah.
No, it was an alright game.
The goals came at the right time for Italy though, because obviously 0-0 literally all game. I thought it wasn't the most dull 0-0 I've ever watched, but it was a dull game. And then Italy just kicked into life as they came out for extra time. Just came out of the block. So I agree with what Ben said. It's good showing for them because they got there in the end.
Yeah.
But Austria did well. Good tournament for them overall, I think. I just wish they got through because a quarterfinal would have been immense for them. And I think they've got some good up-and-coming players. But it was a good game. Another surprise, Czech Republic and Netherlands. I think we all had Netherlands, didn't we? So we've all had a bit of a stinker.
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest shocks. I thought that was one of the biggest shocks.
What went wrong for Netherlands? Because
the thing is that
red card
changed the game is that who was it?
The red card.
Nah, the striker. Who missed the sitter?
Oh,
before
Marlon.
everything kicked off?
Marlon, mate.
Yeah.
What's he doing? He scores that, game changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2 minutes
true.
later,
Goals
De Ligt
changed
gets
things.
sent off.
I genuinely think
So-
they looked at it after the game. It was like 50 something seconds or something. I think up to the red card, which is nuts. Literally from one end to the other, changed the game.
It is literally what makes football like so amazing, isn't it? Like you can do nothing for 30 minutes, and then literally that split 30 seconds between missing a chance and then bang, you're 1-0 down, you're up against Kosh. But overall, what went wrong for Netherlands? Because we were talking about them in the last one, saying that there are a lot of players who potentially were going to be players of the tournament. De Ligt was good up until that point. We talked about De Jong and Wijnaldum, of course, Memphis Depay, and also Dumfries.
Just feel like
A lot.
it looked like they were trying to do their own thing. It didn't really
Yeah.
look like it didn't click.
Yeah, I think they played against a solid team for the first time. Because they had a pretty simple group, didn't they?
Yeah.
Pretty simple
Yeah,
group.
and they did look vulnerable in that group. Like you only have to go back to the first Ukraine game, and obviously they were 2-0 up, went back to
Yeah.
2-2. They did get the win in the end, but they showed frailties. And a semi-decent team we can call Czech Republic. They got some good players, but nonetheless a team that Holland team should be beating. But yeah, it just didn't click for them. And yeah, they did look good in the group stages. Like I said, I think had a lot of players who would have made cases for player of the tournament, but
And now the manager's gone.
Now the manager's gone.
No,
Which is really
Mourinho
interesting.
loved that, wasn't
it is.
What do we think about the red card? I don't think there's much debate. I think it
No, I think
is
it's
red.
Every day of the week.
He was through, wasn't
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can't remember who highlighted it. If it was Gary Neville or Rio Ferdinand, but they said that emphasised his inexperience because, like I said, once you've made that first mistake, you either got to let him go through and score, or like make a judgment
Or miss.
and like cover, and someone else come across. Yeah, but
It's unlucky in a way because he slipped, but
it's
Yeah. Of course,
But-
but-
yeah.
it's a red card.
But Czech Republic got through that one. We all had different ones for Belgium, Portugal as well. I think you two had Belgium, didn't you?
I think
Yeah.
so. Well,
Yeah,
Portugal were the better side though, chaps.
Was
Portugal
they?
were the better side.
I don't know. They,
100%.
what,
Especially in the
what,
second half.
nah.
did give me a moment where they should have scored a goal. I'll
But
clear up.
They hit the post. Hit the post.
It wasn't a clear cut opportunity there.
But
In what minute did they hit the
literally
post?
the one before that. It must have been 65th maybe. They had like 10-minute spell. Had a couple of chances before that. And then they had one really big chance. I'm confident. I don't know who missed it, but they had a massive chance. Then it came out. They went back out to Guerrero, and that's when he hit the post. And then they had like another 2 or 3 minute spell, which
Again,
was
they're
key.
playing
Like,
off half chances. But I thought Belgium should have scored more.
Yeah,
Lukaku
they
was
should have. They
outstanding.
should have finished it off. They should have finished it off. If they'd like slipped up at the end and conceded, they would have rued so many missed chances because they just kept going through like 3-on-2, 2-on-1 at times. They just kept fucking
Lukaku's
it up.
hold up play was unbelievable.
Yeah, and
Players getting in.
some of his runs like driving and that frickin' heck, absolute powerhouse.
it's
That
the
guy.
thing that saves Belgium though, because I said in the last one that I didn't think they were that good, and I still don't think they are. But as I also said, like across 7 games, you don't have to play well. You just need moments, and they've got so many individually like genuinely world-class players. Obviously, in De Bruyne,
Heck of a
Lukaku,
goal as well, by the way.
I think the keeper should have saved it.
Torgan Hazard. Like, no, but he should. From what he does, he shouldn't save it because once you do step right, if that's where he thinks the ball's going, like he's not getting back across.
No.
But I don't understand why he goes so early.
Yeah, strange. I thought it was a bit of a stinker. Well, no, I think the camera angle makes it look like a bit of a stinker. But yeah, like you said,
Yeah.
it's his movement killed him, and he could never recover. That's why it probably looks
Yeah.
bad.
But I thought Portugal were a better side at least. I'm not being biased, but Bruno did change the game when he come on. Like he created
Yeah,
a
to be
lot
fair.
of the chances in the
Started
final.
rolling the pitch, didn't he?
Exactly, he did lots of good roll-ins.
Game of grounds, mate.
Yeah,
Jesus
But
Christ.
yeah,
Have you
okay.
ever seen a team cry as much as Portugal?
Nah.
Like, honestly. It's like just constant, like, waving arms at each other, like, moaning at the ref. Oh, it just does my nut in, man. Does my head in.
Who was it? Pepe and was it
it
Torgan?
was Pepe and Lukaku, wasn't it?
Nah, Pepe and Torgan Hazard like tackled someone.
Yeah,
Pepe
yeah,
went
Pepe
bang
nailed
over there
it.
as quick as he could. Bang!
Yeah. Got
Yeah.
booked, didn't he?
On the topic of Portugal, what's killed them for me in the tournament is they've been awful defensively. But we have Ruben Diaz and Pepe have been two of the best defenders in Europe this season. And in front of them, we have Danilo Pereira, who's been immense for PSG. What happened? Like, it was leaky.
Yeah, I mean they had a tough group, obviously.
Yeah.
I just think a few of the players are not good enough anymore. Like they're just the geezer who plays up front, whatever his name is.
It's just taking the piss out there.
Yeah.
It's just not funny.
No, I thought Renato Sanchez had a good tournament. I think he was probably
Renato
the guy who
Sanchez was
came out of it
fantastic.
looking
Where
good.
do you think he's going to go? He's got to leave
Bayern?
this summer, surely.
The Bayern.
Does he go to Bayern or what?
See yourself out, fella. See yourself out. Surely you can't go back.
Oh,
He's got to come to the Premier League. I think he's so suited for the Premier League.
Yeah,
Like,
back to Swansea. Swansea ain't in the Premier anymore, are
nah, they
Yeah.
lost the playoff final.
but
Brentford.
his energy, his power, like I think he's one of the most complete players that we've seen at this tournament so far. Like, he's got absolutely everything. And as I said in the group, like, why did they take him off? He was literally the only place where chances were coming from, and he would have been perfect to have kept on like next to Bruno once you brought him on, because he had so much energy. And like, although he was running for 80 minutes, like as soon as they took him off, they took him off straight after he had like a 60-meter burst of pace, and they just took him off. I was like, is the only thing creating anything? But yeah, I
Strange.
thought Portugal were the better side. We're unlucky, but Belgium's class showed. Next, I think the first 4 games were good, but they definitely saved the best 4 for the last. We had some absolute crackers, starting with Croatia 3, Spain 5 after extra time. What game?
What a game. What a
Can
game.
we take a minute to appreciate Luka Modric?
No, he's a little bitch.
Mate, the guy's 35 years old. I don't care. The guy's 35 years old, and he just made his 65th appearance of the season.
Yeah, slows the game down, ruins it for him, mate.
Yeah. I did Croatia. I know Ben had Spain. Who did you have, Cal?
I had Spain.
Oh, so just me who got it wrong. Cheers, chaps.
No,
Alvaro
Croatia as
Morata.
well. I fancied Croatia.
Oh, I thought you had Spain.
Nah, I fancied Croatia.
I think we got to speak about the first goal first. Do you remember
I
it?
don't know. I think it's just unlucky. I mean, who was it in the ITV commentary team?
I think it might have been Ali McCoist.
It's just unlucky.
Oh no, it wasn't.
It-
It wasn't. It was Chelsea woman manager Emma Hayes.
It's like the pitch don't help him.
Yeah, because she absolutely.
Yeah.
What does the pitch not help him?
It took a horrible bobble in front of him.
Yeah.
But it's one of
You
them
got
things,
to deal
innit?
with that. You can't take your eyes off a ball, though.
I mean, he made up for it because he made a cracking save.
The thing is, players do it all the time. Like a simple pass out, they'll miss it. It'll go for a throw in. Thing is, the keeper can't do it, and he did,
Yeah,
and it costs
not wrong.
more than it going out for a throw in.
He did.
But luckily,
Yeah, like you say, it didn't cost them, though. They got that in the end. It
That's
was a
why,
great
kids, you
comeback
don't
from
pass the ball
Croatia.
back to the keeper when they're in front of the goal.
thanks for that
Yeah. Do
coaching
you
point.
see Spain going on to be a threat now? I think they've
No
got
chance.
Switzerland. No, they do have Switzerland. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, are we saying that's a semi-final for them?
I don't know.
Difficult to say
Switzerland
after
are
what's
a team.
happened with France, of
Yeah.
course. But
Yeah, Switzerland ain't got Xhaka though.
oh, mate,
He's banned.
what are they gonna do?
Nah, seriously,
We
that
joke.
guy was unbelievable. We'll speak about that next, man.
Yeah, it was good.
I
but-
don't know. Spain have scored loads of goals, but I still look at
Which
them
is
and
ironic
think
'cause they don't
they're
have
not
a
going
goal
to score.
scorer.
Yeah, I still look at them and think they're not going to score.
They've got Morata. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they still look leaky at the back, but I think if Croatia can put 3 past them, I think Switzerland have obviously showed it against France. They've got the style to get goals against them. But
Yeah, that's probably
I
Spain's.
thought,
That's probably Spain's downfall was the experience. I think because
Yeah.
they should have just
I
won the
thought
game.
Spain looked better though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. They deserve to
They
win.
look like they're getting better as well. Like they're getting better game by game, which is what you want in tournament football. It's like Gareth Southgate said, you don't want to peak too
I
early.
say, since
Spain haven't.
Azpilicueta's come into the team, they've scored 10 goals.
Yeah, true.
And on that note, we had France versus Switzerland, which was the surprise of the weekend.
Yeah, it was.
3-3. Mbappe missed the final Pepe. Everyone's put Project Mbappe on hold, I think, because that was an absolute stinking penalty.
It
He's
is
had
what
a
it is, a
horrible
penalty
tournament.
shootout. Someone's
What-
got to be there. Someone's got to miss, haven't
Yeah. France have not played well in any of the games, in my opinion. They were okay against Germany, but that was a German team like massively lacking confidence. And if they're Germany who played against, I know they weren't great in the other 3 games, but like they showed a lot more confidence in the Portugal, Hungary, and even the England game. To be fair, like they did have spells, which we'll come on to talk about, of course.
Yeah.
If they showed any of that against France, I think they would have beat them. Like France were really poor. Mbappe didn't get any goal contributions. Varane, I know he's linked with United at the minute, so let's not say too much.
thing is,
But
with
he
Mbappe,
was,
there's never anyone near him.
I was
That's
going
one
to
thing
say,
I noticed.
like,
He's
again,
always running through on goal, but it's like Benzema or Giroud, whoever was with him, is like half a mile back on the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, no one keep
Yeah.
up with him, that's all.
I think when he plays with PSG, because he's got, obviously there's no like hiding, he's absolutely rapid. But I think with PSG, he's got pace around him. Like in that France team, he had Griezmann and Benzema, who aren't the quickest. He didn't exactly have a natural wing back because it was either Lucas Hernandez, who again isn't your normal fullback. At points it was Digne, and finally you had Rabiot. So he never
Yeah.
had pace around him. So I thought it was every time we watched him, it was almost like teams were able to put 2 or 3 men on him, and then that was it. He was like out of the game.
Mm.
But then when he did get through, he had a few chances like across the tournament.
Well, he missed a few opportunities in the game as well.
Yeah, I
I
think
was
he
just
shanked
saying, there
one
was
wide,
one
didn't
stage, I think Pogba put in an absolute worldie of a ball, didn't he? On like
Tried to
absolute
play it
sign
on the left.
rider through to him.
The
Yeah,
thing is, before the game, he'd missed 2 when he tried to open up his body and find the far corner.
he? Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the difference between that kind of level of player. I think it just shows how good Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are, really, doesn't it? How
Yeah,
much the
yeah.
level
It's
above they are.
consistency. Consistent.
it's one Mbappe's got to hit if he is gonna get to that level. What was he now? 22. I think Messi and Ronaldo both had Ballon d'Ors by that point, so he's got to. Yeah, he's got to add that element to his game. I
think
think that
France-
summed up France's tournament for me.
Yeah, I think France had spells of like, like they looked
Well, that's
like
how they got back into the
absolute-
game. Just
yeah, it
one
looked
spell.
unbelievable at spells. The
Missed
spell
that,
got them
yeah.
back into the game, and yeah, the penalty was massive. I think if they'd scored the penalty, it would have been game over. I think, but
Yeah. Can I
uh,
just say a heck of a fucking goal by Benzema?
yeah,
That touch.
what a touch,
That's
and then
better than Dennis
Pogba.
Bergkamp's touch.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That's nuts, mate.
That
That is
is not-
absolutely ridiculous.
I can't believe you've just said that. I
How has
can't.
he
Oh,
managed
you
to
just said
control the ball with his leg that far away from him? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but nah.
Right. As Ben continues to do, we'll move on to the next game. Stop him going any further. Sweden, Ukraine. I said it was going to be game of the tournament, and I think it lived up to it, chaps. It was an
Yeah.
absolute cracker.
Fell
Cal fell
asleep.
asleep, apparently. Yeah, you did as well. Yeah, everything you wanted. boys.
Nah, I did.
Everything
Nah,
you
nah.
wanted in the game.
I had it on, but I didn't really watch it properly.
You've missed an absolute cracker then.
I haven't.
An absolute cracker.
I really
Depends how
haven't.
much he drunk before the England
Have
game.
we all at least seen the red card?
I've seen the red card.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a red card in the Premier League.
it is a red card.
I think a lot of people have come to the conclusion that we think it's a red, or at least the vast majority do. But for the few debates that there were saying
It is a
that,
genuine attempt
like,
for the ball.
Yeah, it's annoying that it's a red card, but like nowadays, I think we just accept that it is.
I think for me personally, I think it's a positive change to the game because people will say like he's gone for the ball, he's not intended to hurt the player, like he can't not go for the ball, and it's just unfortunate how it's panned out, so he shouldn't be sent off for it. So like, I do understand that element, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter if you don't mean to do something, does it? If he has put someone's career at risk when you think about it, because like any more pressure or like just any more unfortunate situation where that could have meant that he broke his leg or something and his career's done. So it's a red for me, but there is a debate
I
there.
thought Sweden were turning the corner when that sending off game.
Yeah, I think they would have won. To be fair,
Emil Forsberg, I feel sorry for because he had a fantastic tournament for Sweden.
He had a good tournament.
And-
Yeah, I think he had a
But
good tournament.
players like Isak didn't really turn up in the game against Ukraine.
no, he didn't. Just signed a new contract
Yeah.
as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I can't believe I'm saying this as a United fan, but I was really happy for Zinchenko.
Or when he scored, or
To
just
be
in
honest, I
general?
watched the Chelsea game back last night. And I see him crying on the floor. And you know what? Don't give a shit.
This guy. I knew he was going to get Chelsea in again.
I think we actually need to get the Chelsea counter like in the bottom corner of the podcast to see how many times he says it. To be fair, it's taken him 20 minutes, but he's developed so much at City, and like he doesn't get a lot of credit because he's not a natural left back. So I don't think he always looks natural, and he doesn't always like get appreciated. But he's literally him and Yarmolenko have like carried a Ukraine team to the quarters, and we'll get onto it. But they could very, very easily beat England and get to the semi-finals of the Euros. Like that's
You can
massive.
tell Zinchenko plays at that level, though. Just the way he's so
It's-
composed and has
yeah.
a good understanding of the game, and it's what he should be doing when he should be doing it. It's quite clear that he's playing under Guardiola, to be honest. But I don't understand Yarmolenko as captain. Can I just add that? I was so confused when I saw the captain's armband on Yarmolenko.
Why?
Why?
He's like the most experienced player, isn't he?
Is he?
Well, I guess so. He's
Yeah.
the best player as well, really. Like that's the thing at national level, isn't it? It's like more who's the star when you think about it.
Is
Like
he-
realistically.
I watched the game after I found out he's captain. I never see him bollocking anyone or talking to anyone or anything.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's just like the Ukraine way in general, though. Like they're all just happy to be where they are.
Palmer knows
No,
the
I just
Ukraine
think-
way, mate. He
No, but
knows.
like they
That's just
for a
racist.
country. No, but they don't often get far in tournaments. I think they're like generally happy to be where they are, and like they're getting where they are based on like.
Yeah, where did they come in the
what's
group?
word?
Yeah, there was the worst third place team, weren't they?
Have a day off. Surely not.
I'm sure it was, weren't they? The worst third place team to get through, like the lowest. I'm sure they
How
was.
did they get?
Who was in the group?
Spain,
Netherlands. Wasn't that group?
Poland, Slovakia.
Spain. Yeah, and they finished third.
Oh wait, who are you on about? Ukraine?
Yeah.
Or Sweden? Oh no,
Ukraine.
sorry. Yeah, they had Spain. Oh yeah, Poland and Slovakia. Yeah.
Hmm.
No, Sweden
finished
had
second.
Spain, Poland, and Slovakia.
Oh,
Ukraine
yeah.
had Holland. What the fuck are we on about, chaps? They had Holland,
said-
Austria, and North Macedonia.
When they came third. Yeah, they did, I think.
Yeah, but against Austria and Netherlands. And that's worked out alright for them. So they got further than both of them.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's messed up, by the way, how like in the tournament it works out better to finish third than first. The
Yeah,
only thing that
certainly.
worked out better for England finishing first was the fact we got our game at Wembley. But let's be fair, like a lot of people probably still would have taken playing in Rome against frickin' Czech Republic or whoever it was we would have played. Who would we have got? Oh
What,
no,
if
we
we
got
finished
Spain
second?
or Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, either
We
way
played
we'd have got a
Spain.
tough draw. Yeah, we might as well finish first and beat Germany. Let's get on to that then, chaps. England 2, Germany 0. But I'm coming to you first, mate, because you were slandering us. Like you,
I didn't say slander.
No,
Whoa.
Fella, you were.
He just didn't
slandering
believe.
us for
He just didn't
believing.
believe.
No. Now I said Germany. Let's not get it wrong. Germany were poor. Germany should have scored goals. Hell of a save from Pickford at 0-0 against Kai Havertz. Hell of a
That's-
save.
And
It's
against
not going in.
Werner.
Muller, how was he missed, by the way?
Yeah.
But England were poor in the first half. Same boring crap football that they were in the group. In the second half, there was something different. And if they play like that, they'll win the tournament with ease.
Yeah. I think.
There was a spark in the second half.
What
Declan
was-
Rice took control of the game. Declan Rice was unbelievable in the second half.
Even on a yellow from early as well.
Massive performance, by the way, to be on a yellow card against Germany at Wembley in the first 10 minutes and then to play the next 80 the way you did. Hats off. That was something special from him. Do you say if England play like that, then we'll smash the tournament? Like,
Yeah, 100%.
you can't.
You've got to play.
Uh,
They played so well in the second half.
What was better about the
They-
second half performance than the first?
There was an intensity. There's a will to play forward. There's a will to attack. There weren't that in the first half.
Was that in the way that we approached the second half, or was that the fact that it was the second half? Germany had gone for it a little bit more because we had opened up and then we took advantage of gaps, or was it a change of mentality?
I think it's changing mentality, surely.
Yeah?
No,
I think it was
half-time,
just-
go for it.
I think it was just how the game went. I think we was always going to have a spell in the game. I wouldn't say it was a mentality. I think it was just happened. In all seriousness, I think it, like, the things that happened in the game just happened. Like, Luke Shaw saw space, got into it, and it no, he's not. No, he's not.
You're not still not having it.
No, it was a
Still
great ball.
better
It was a
wing
great ball in. It was a great ball in, but both wing backs do not play that role properly.
I don't disagree with that. I think both of them can play better.
Whether or not that's their fault or Southgate's
I think
fault,
that's the way Gareth
still not
Southgate wants them
decided.
to play. Genuinely, I think that's how, at least how he wanted it against Germany.
It just doesn't make sense because then you genuinely are playing with 3 attackers. Just 3 attackers. That's nuts.
I think that would have. But I think that was his plan and why he didn't start Grealish or who came on for Sterling, please. Irrelevant.
No one.
Rashford. I think someone must have done. I'm sure someone came on. Right. Anyway, the point I was trying to make was, as we kept a flat back five for most of the game, it let Germany still like penetrate with their wing backs as they wanted to, but that pretty much meant that every time we got the ball, it was 3v3, which is pretty much where you wanted that German back three. Like if you get past Hummels, Ginter, and Rudiger, that's what I think. That's why Jack Grealish changed the game. And people call for him to start, but like if you, I'm not saying he shouldn't start, but I'm saying in that kind of game, having a player like that to come off the bench like gives you something different. Because you got to think throughout a game, like obviously none of us played at that level, but like we've all played football. It's very different when you are playing against something for like you adapt as the game goes on. If you're playing against someone for 60 or 70 minutes and you get used to them, when someone completely different comes on and you've got tired legs and you've got to change, like it changes the game. So like bringing someone like Jack Grealish off the bench was ultimately what changed the game. But you don't get that same effect if you start Phil Foden. And like even if you start like Rashford and bring on Grealish, it's not the same effect as if you start Sterling and Saka and then bring on Foden and Grealish. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that you don't start your best players, but I think it was genuinely a plan that worked out perfectly to leave a flat back five. It meant that Germany, we still had the overload in that sense because they played with one up front. Havertz floated a bit, but like we had 3 centre backs still. But every time we went forward, it was 3v3. Sterling's chance in the first half, and he had a long range shot, by the way. Don't want to talk about it, but it did that throughout the first half. But it didn't get talked about because we didn't create big chances. That was just because of poor decision making. But the tactics were there, in my opinion.
I mean, it's hard to slander it. But in the first half, I thought, I tweeted it at half time that he had to take one of the centre mids off. He didn't ultimately, but I felt they had to take one of the centre mids off. I think was they both on a yellow at half time? I think they was, weren't they? Both of them. Phillips got one just before. I would have bought on Hendo, someone to. Because I just look at both of them midfielders. If you're playing 5, you look at both of them midfielders and I can't see a goal. I know Rice has popped up with one here and there for West Ham, but he's not a goal scorer. Neither's Phillips. I don't even remember the last time Phillips scored.
Phillips technically plays deeper for his club than Rice, doesn't he?
Yeah, probably. But obviously they press.
But I did. Like a 4-1,
that's another
4-1,
thing.
And he sits at the base.
Them two did not look like they had a clue what they was doing. For me, in the first half, they didn't know whether to go with a press or they didn't know whether to leave the player. Honestly, they just looked. Phillips was pressing, the ball would go behind him, and then they'd think, "Oh, well, He was just basically doing doggies all the time. That's what it looked like to me in the first half with Phillips. What did you think when you first saw the lineup? What did you actually think then? Was you happy with it?
I personally wasn't happy that we played Bukayo Saka, and I know you're going to probably disagree. But like we said in the podcast, if he plays Bukayo Saka,
I didn't think he would.
It's it's going to be a defensive display. It's a fair play to him because considering the lineup he put out, I don't think we were that defensive.
No.
But like the commentators were saying at one stage, apparently, literally a couple of minutes before Luke Shaw intercepted for the second goal, he was like, "Did you hear him? Oh, Luke Shaw isn't getting into this game. Take him off and put Saka at wing back."
Yeah,
are you sure?
I agree with that. I thought he should have done that. I said that in the first half. I think that would be good.
Like, in what world was Luke Shaw not in that game? Like, Saka was having nice touches.
They're too slow out to him. They would never get in out to the wing backs quick enough, and the wing backs were too deep to affect anything. Does that not tell you it's Southgate though? I don't know. I'd personally go Reece James at right wing back and Chilwell at left wing back. I think they're your best wing backs.
That's where they play
Very
for the club.
offensive.
Yeah, I think that
That's where they play
Very
for the club.
offensive.
yeah, I think that it's not that offensive. Reece James is a good defender. Also, he must have yeah, he is.
Not Ben Chilwell's not that good at anything, to be honest, but he's just decent.
He could
I've
pop
said
up
this
with a
all year
goal.
long.
He could pop up with a goal.
I don't know. I saw the lineup. I was just more disappointed not to see any of Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, Mason Mount, Marcus Rashford. Calvert-Lewin wasn't even on the bench, which I'm
Mate,
not going
I didn't even realise until Kane went down injured, and then there was like, oh, wonder what they'd do. Calvert-Lewin's not even on the bench, and I was so shocked. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of decision was that? It must be something behind the scenes. He must be injured or something.
Yeah, it's the same with Sancho. Like, I really want. That's the only thing after this tournament I want to know. What is the reason for these players not playing?
Yeah, there's got to be something with Sancho, whether it's the United deal or what. I don't know, because I think that game was calling for a Sancho. To be fair, I was hoping. I mean, I think he was the first player we see warming up, and he still didn't come on. Sancho, but yeah, I don't know.
About 55th minute, he was out on the sideline.
Yeah.
On the topic of the forward line, Raheem Sterling had his critics.
Yeah.
I
Scoring
just think
goals.
it suits him playing with Harry Kane, the way Harry Kane plays. I think Sterling is the right person for him.
Is he staying in the side because he's scoring goals or because he's
Can't take him
playing
out.
well?
You can't take. I don't think he's necessarily playing well. I
don't think he's
genuinely
playing
don't think he's
well.
necessarily playing
Yeah.
well. But he suits England, and like, if you've got a record like that, you can't take him out. What's he scored? Like 15
3
in last 20 or something
Yeah, he's
for
scored
England.
15 in the last 20 now. He got 2 in his previous 49.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And normally don't turn up for us in tournaments.
Yeah. With Sterling, he was doing a lot of stupid stuff. Like, he needs to release the ball earlier, but what he was doing is like the reason that we won games, because he's the only player who is brave enough to actually lose the ball. So
Yeah.
like, he was annoying me because he was losing the ball, but at the same time, it's why he's got the goal so far and why he's looked like a most dangerous player, because he doesn't care when he loses it. There was one stage.
Well,
I'm
except
sure
when Muller went for a
yeah,
goal, he cared then.
Yeah, well, all 45,000 people in the stadium were screaming at him at one point when he had that shot that went over the bar on his left foot, because it was such an easy pass out wide to Luke Shaw. He didn't give a fuck. Like, he literally didn't care, because as far as he was aware, in that moment, he did what he felt was right. He got it wrong. Fine. Wait till he gets the ball next time. He'll try again.
That's
Like,
an
that's his
attacker's
mentality.
mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the only reason. Like, I like him. I genuinely don't think he's playing well. Like, not a lot's coming off for him.
I think his runs are
But
his best attribute. I just think he would look better if Luke Shaw got around him. But like I've said so many times, Luke Shaw and Trippier
Luke Shaw doesn't get forward enough. Yeah,
none of them do. It just annoys me, because if you're playing 5 at the back, surely there's overlaps. Surely. And we saw realistically 2 incidents, and then we saw 2 goals of a fullback getting round. Obviously, it's different because we was like in field as such. We was in field, and then he's got around. If Sterling's out on the wing, Sherwin will not get around him.
No.
Well, he might ever so often, but it just
the fact that Trippier wasn't doing it is why I think it was Gareth Southgate, though, because Luke Shaw doesn't do it for club.
I just don't think any of them do it, though. I don't know. I can't work out whether it's Southgate or not. Like in the first half, when we actually did all right, I think Trippier was pushed up, Saka was pushed up. He played it back to Walker, perfect to cross it. He didn't cross it.
Well, we don't take enough risks.
Yeah, we're just scared to get it in the box. Just get it in the box.
Yeah,
and I think that's why we often see Kane not in the box, because he's just like, well, I ain't coming in.
I could half understand it, like when we've only got 1 or 2 options and like we're counter attacking. I can understand slowing it down. Let's not risk being countered when we're trying to counter, because in a game like that, you can't go 1-0 down. Like, the first goal is crucial, especially in a game that big.
Yeah.
So I can understand why you wouldn't take that risk. But in that situation, there's 8 German players back. The only player that left forward was Kai Havertz. I think Timo Werner at that point was on the floor somewhere, like stuck in our half. And then like a corner's come out, literally Kyle Walker, everyone's back. Just chuck it in the box, because if it comes back out, we're going to pick it up. Just take that risk. But they don't.
Yeah,
went out to Kyle Walker. He's shaped like he's going to cross it. doesn't, and then it's back to John Stones.
That's why I wanted Hendo on.
Sure.
I think Hendo's changed his game, and this is what makes him better than Michael Carrick, is the fact that he actually plays forward now. Like Hendo's
Do you think
Diags
Mason
is
Mount would
whipped
do the
into the
same,
box.
though, in that role?
Yeah, to be fair,
Yeah,
but I
would
just think
you change
Hendo's
the
probably a
team-
better
would you
leader. I
change-
think Hendo's probably the leader that you need in there, in the
Would you
midfield.
change the lineup? Would you change the two in midfield for the Ukraine game, knowing that Ukraine will
No.
probably now sit off us and we're going to be the team dominant?
I would.
Point number one: we have to play a back four against Ukraine.
I think we will. I think we'll go back to it.
The only reason I'll switch to a back five against Ukraine is if I imagine they might switch to a back five if they're not that brave. Because again, for them, just don't concede. If it goes to pens, great. If they lose, fuck it, we got to the quarters. If they can nick it on pens, happy days, mate. Semi-finals. So for them, it makes sense maybe to change to a back five and just say, don't concede, boys. We'll take it from there. If they cause us problems in the first 20 minutes, like if they play Zinchenko out wide, for example, and they have brave wing backs, I can understand changing it. But to start that game, we've got to go guns blazing, mate. Kill them off in the first half an hour. They're going to be buzzing. It's not at Wembley either, is it? It's going to be in Rome.
Right.
So we're not even going to have that home advantage where like we can.
I'm not even going to have
unnerve
many
them.
fans in there at all. either.
Exactly.
It's not allowed.
They're going to come out, and we have to kill them early doors. Like kill the hope, because
Yeah, that
if
is
we
a
can
big
do that,
thing.
and it will be.
Don't
I said the same
get
against Germany, to be fair, but
yeah, don't get them excited. Don't let them think they've
Yeah.
got a chance.
exactly, which means just play Sancho, play Sterling, Mount, Rashford, Foden, Grealish, chuck them all on, mate.
What do you honestly think he's going to do though?
What do I think he'll do?
Yeah.
Same team that started the game against Croatia.
I think he keeps playing Trippier because
Mount's back in.
And I'll come back into it.
I think he keeps playing Trippier because I think he's his perfect option at the minute.
At
because
left
he's
back?
the blend of right back.
I can see him putting him at left back.
Yeah, so can
I think he's his perfect blend of like experience, set piece taker.
Yeah, but does that mean if you're going back forward, do you take Walker out then?
You can't not play Stones and Maguire, can you now?
Play Walker right
But
back.
That means you take Walker out.
Or you do what Carl says, and he's probably going to put Trippier at left back. But can you take Luke Shaw out? Like he wasn't great, but like he did the job.
Yeah, I know, but then Sterling weren't great, but did the job.
But do you take Sterling out?
Nah.
There's no way on earth he starts Jack Grealish. I don't
No.
think.
As I said Jack Grealish is the perfect player to come off the bench in this tournament.
I think he should have come off a little bit earlier.
Stupid.
Come on a little bit earlier, sorry, but
Bring him because the further the tournament goes, the more tired players are going to get, especially after the season with the COVID. And you had a 4-week rest break, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
You're a defender. You see Jack Grealish warming up to come on in the 60th minute. You're automatically, for fuck's sake.
yeah, literally, because you know that you're going to get run at.
My argument with that is though, you can start him and do exactly the same. Like if you're in the
don't think it has
60th
the same
minute
effect,
and
though.
Jack Grealish will run you ragged for 70 minutes, and then Raheem Sterling's coming on, he's quicker. Like you don't want
different
legs
player.
against you.
But
A different player, yeah, but we've got that many quality players. Like you take off, even if you take off Phil Foden, you're probably thinking, oh, thank fuck, he's going out. You bring on Jadon Sancho. It's not exactly a massive downgrade,
You
is
won't
it?
bring on
Like,
Jadon
they're still
Sancho,
ballers. I'm just making an example. Like you, no matter who you do that with, even if you take off Harry Kane and bring on Rashford, like massive downgrade, arguably in what he's doing. Like you're still looking around thinking, are you fucking sure, mate? I can't be asked for that.
The squad
So I
depth
don't-
inevitably will be the biggest thing for England this tournament.
But he's
Yeah.
not used it yet, which makes me think he's not going to do it now.
Nah,
He
doesn't
he'll
need
stick
that.
with it. He'll stick with what he's.
I think
What's
he thinks he's got the perfect blend of youth and experience, and he's going to stick with it. He's
Mm.
rotated a few players, but I can't see it changing.
Yeah,
It'll be-
I'm beginning now to accept that we are going to be not that exciting to watch, and like the pundits keep saying, we're going to be hard to beat before being anything exciting, which I'm not opposed to, but I'd just like to see a little bit more risk. I think it's probably too defensive, but worked so far, so we'll see.
Yeah. It's not playing defensive, I agree with you. It's not playing defensive that bothers me. What bothers me is when you've got the ball. If we only have the ball for 5 minutes a game, fine. but in that 5 minutes, make sure I'm off my fucking seat, boys. Like,
Yeah. It was like me and Ben said
do
last
something
time. Like,
special.
it's still not happened. If we go behind, it's panic stations because I don't think I fancy us.
So I say
That's
exactly the same
interesting.
thing I had said about Germany. I think if a team shuts up shop against us, the way we play, I think England will struggle to score goals.
Yeah, you had two. I mean, it's football at the end of the day. We've had 2 moments that have panned out for us and we've scored, but other than that, we didn't really create anything, which is not a bad thing because it was a tough game ultimately. Like, they're a good side and it's going to be close, it's going to be nervy, there's not going to be many chances and you've got to take them when they come. But against Ukraine, if we're not crossing balls in when like Walker gets an opportunity, like, it just won't make sense to me. Like, just take risk. Obviously, you get to a final, I can understand it being cagey as fuck, and I can understand it being don't concede before scoring a goal. Fair enough. Like, I'll accept that mentality. But if we see on Saturday us not putting crosses in, we're freaking got a chance to run at someone, but we're turning back and playing it. It will just piss me off. Like, it just won't make sense to me. But I can see it happening.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting what he does. I can't see him changing anything. I think he does think he's got the perfect blend, and I think he'll stick with it. We'll still see
Saka will start.
Sterling. I don't think Saka will start. I think Mount will come back in, and I think I don't know who he plays on the right though, because he does go to a back 4, so I think he probably takes out. He's going to take out Trippier or Shaw. I can't see him dropping Kyle Walker.
So
But then
what's
again,
he
like,
playing then? A back 4 of?
Is he definitely playing a back 4 though? Because
I don't.
if he
I feel like he might.
if he plays a more offensive, if he is going to play more offensively, you could argue back 5 still suits us better, because if we do get countered, the perfect player to play with Stones and Maguire is obviously Kyle Walker. So leaving him back so that we can commit 2 more bodies forward makes sense. That's why you said.
I think
you said
5
on Saturday,
suits
didn't you? Playing a back 5 doesn't mean you play defensive. If anything,
Well, it gives you
it can let
permission
you
to be a bit more risky in midfield.
If
Yeah,
anything,
yeah,
it gives you that leeway to put forward an extra body, because you can literally attack with both wing backs, stretch the pitch, and that's another reason he should probably play Mount in midfield. Because if the wing backs play more attacking than stretch the pitch, what you want then is a runner from midfield to exploit the gaps in the middle.
So
You need a goal scorer
I
in
think
midfielder.
Henderson's probably the better player to play in that role, but I don't think Henderson's sharp and match fit enough to play.
No, I'd agree with you.
from
I do
the
agree with you. I think Mount will do a job there, and if he's there, I won't
I
be
think
fussed.
Mount's a mature enough player and
Yeah.
a clever enough player to play in that role.
Yeah,
In the deeper
either
role
or,
with Declan
either or.
Rice.
With Rice, yeah.
That's interesting.
They've got a great chemistry, whatever.
Yeah.
That's quite clear.
It's hard to do.
And he will. If Mason Mount will get the ball, and it's the same thing for Chelsea. Which is why he's been Chelsea's best player. His first thought: how can I hurt the other team?
Do Rice and Phillips?
It's what you need in midfield.
Yeah, it is. It is. Do Rice and Phillips risk if they get a yellow being out or what?
No, it's reset now.
It's reset now. Okay.
That's my understanding. It reset at the end of the round of 16.
So players can't get banned, or they just can't get booked in both games.
I don't think they can get banned now.
Nah,
unless they get a red.
It has to be a red card.
For what it's worth, bans from yellow cards are pretty much pointless nowadays anyway. Like, what is the point?
Oh, stop yellow cards, I suppose, is the point. But yeah, it don't really make sense.
No, I could. Yeah, it's a bit messed up. But how do we? We said what we think he'll do. What would you boys actually do then? A back 5 or a back 4?
Or back 5.
I wouldn't be opposed to either, but I think if we can work on it, a back 5 suits us long term.
Yeah.
But
I think we look more comfortable in a back 5.
Yeah, we do. We do look safe. Walker's there. For that extra bit
And
of
it gives
security.
you permission to, against Ukraine, probably start Reece James.
It's just the midfield that worries me, but I mean, if they've not played in a back 5, then it's understandable. They just looked a little bit lost for me.
Yeah. John Stones and Harry Maguire looked unbelievable. Do you trust them in a back 2 on their own, or do you think they need Kyle Walker to look that good?
I trust them. I think they're solid.
Even if we go gung ho with just them 2, play attacking wing backs. that back two. Maybe drop one of Rice or Phillips and then play two midfielders, or do you think like if he goes back to that, he still has like Rice sitting but pushes Phillips further forward?
If he's going to push one of them further forward, then he's got to drop Phillips for me.
It'll be Phillips.
I'd
So
drop him.
Phillips.
Yeah, if you're gonna,
So he would be
if you're
your
gonna
two in front of Rice.
if you're gonna give Phillips a freedom to get forward, then he's the wrong player to give that to. I think I'd just play Mount and Hendo, Bellingham. I don't know, whoever.
Bellingham.
I'd
I'd
see
still
Bellingham
think you can
start.
get away with playing Mount and Foden in there. I think Mo
Yeah, I think you could.
Foden will be alright.
He won't, but we could.
I know you can play Sancho, Grealish and Kane. Jobs are good one.
In a dream world, yeah.
If it was like a league game, or obviously in this sense, what would be like a friendly or a Nations League game, or something like just a game not of this magnitude, I would say that you don't need to play two holding midfielders. Like you just don't need to, because like you're playing Ukraine.
But he
But in
probably
a game
will.
like this, his mentality is probably going to be like you said, don't concede, and we'll go from there. Which
I can
think we
understand
see.
him keeping it the same with two DMs simply because if we get through, he'll want to keep it, and I don't think he wants to disrupt it as such, which is why I can see him keeping it the same.
I don't fix it if it's not broken. We've not conceded yet. We've got arguably our two most favourable draws coming up to get us to the final.
Yeah.
And then from there, you imagine we're going to have Spain, Belgium, or Italy if we get through the next two games. Final predictions then, boys, going into this. Belgium and Italy. Carl, how's it?
Belgium, Italy. I'm going to go with Belgium.
Well,
It's going to be tough. That's a hard.
I'm going
It's
to
hard
go
to
with the
predict.
Italians. I think if De Bruyne and Hazard big misses,
Late
I
fitness
think
tests,
Italy
isn't it?
might be able to just grind out the result. I still quite fancy Italy to go all the way.
I'm going to go with Italy, and I actually think it might. I personally think it might look quite easy for them. I can see them winning 2 or 3-0.
Italy.
I can see it looking comfortable, but I don't think they'll score goals. I think it'll be a really.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
don't
they score
they'll get
goals.
threatened, but I think they'll dominate the
One
game.
of those
1-1.
dogged, easy games that finish 1-0, but you think, it was never in doubt.
Yeah, I think Italy won't really be threatened. I don't think
Interesting.
Belgium have got that much.
We've all gone different. I love it when this happens.
Nah, I'm having Belgium, man.
Spain.
I'm not having Italy in attack. That's my doubt with them.
Yeah, but I'm having them in defence, which is my argument.
Yeah, it's fair, which is fair enough. But I think Belgium have got a better attack.
Especially, is De Bruyne going to be fit? Did De Bruyne go off?
Nah, they're both of them.
Oh, is that what you
Both
said?
of them are late fitness tests. Give me like last minute.
So you're pretty much looking at Lukaku being the threat. Although Carrasco's underrated. Carrasco can cause
Carrasco came on and didn't look.
Excuse me?
And doesn't look at that level that even Eden Hazard and De Bruyne are now. It's still missing.
So do you think Eden Hazard's still like the 2017?
Eden Hazard was fantastic against Portugal. Don't tell me he wasn't.
It was good. It was good.
I think he was
plays
good.
so well with De Bruyne and Lukaku.
I think he was good.
He doesn't have that turn of pace which made him unplayable.
He needs game time.
This is what I'm going to say. Yeah, but in that
he's still such a clever player.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He just
Yeah.
waits.
Which could win you again. He still could win you again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Spain, Switzerland. Let's not make the same mistakes, chaps, as we did with France, Switzerland,
I
because we are
think it'll be
France.
either
It's
way.
easy.
I'm going to Spain.
Fuck it, boys. I'm going Switzerland then. We've got to keep it interesting. They've done it
Spain
once.
as well, but I don't think there's an out-and-out favourite. Spain still don't convince me.
No, agreed.
They've got Luis Enrique though, and he does know how to set up a team, doesn't he? His Barcelona side was questionable, over how good they were. And did he win the treble with him in the end, or did he get close to the treble?
Yeah,
Sure, he won it in the end. And people were constantly saying, "How do you want to treble with that side?" Like they were a good side, obviously had lots of top quality players. Yeah, but there were still question marks on what was behind them. But he made them look so solid. But ultimately, it was also why he got sacked, because of how he set them up. But it won them a freaking treble.
As I said to you before, when Spain first played, Spain will be a threat in future tournaments under Enrique and the players that are coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going Switzerland, so we'll see how that goes. We have Denmark, Czech Republic. So there's going to be at least one surprise semi-finalist.
Yeah.
Who have we got playing England in the semi-finals?
Czech Republic.
I'm going Denmark, mate.
I am going Denmark as well, just because I want them to win, obviously.
I think they look
But I
good.
will feel
Denmark.
bad when we beat them. They're a good side. It's mad if they get to the semis. Like, if you said after the 1-0 defeat to Finland, obviously we know what happened, so like it wasn't their best performance overall. But if you still said they were getting to the semi-finals after that performance, we all would have been like, no chance. So if they get there, fair play. They've looked very, very good since, I agree. Dare I ask who we think's going to win out of England and Ukraine? Ben, Ukraine
Gonna go with the same mentality. Ukraine will win.
Let's do it again.
We're winning. We're winning. I'm not saying it's going to be
What
comfortable, but we're going to win.
I want specific predictions for this one.
We're gonna
Score
win.
and scorers, Cal. How do we do it?
Score
when?
and scorers. I think we win 2-0. We're going to break through with a Harry Kane penalty. And then we're going to...
Take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, mate, I'll take anything. I'll take an own goal. I don't give a shit. Harry Kane penalty. And then we will score late on from a counter with a cut back to Mason Mount.
What have you got him going for?
I just looked at him and I thought, yeah.
For me,
And how, when, who?
3-1 Ukraine.
Why? Why?
A Kane own goal. A Sterling own goal. A Zinchenko goal. And then Kane to score another own goal. I'm basically saying 3-1 England, but I'm going to take the same approach I did to the Germany game and hope that we'll win.
You're just going to go against us every game and hope that you're wrong.
Nah, 3-1 England.
Yeah, I think we break through early. And I think we get a couple more to finish off because Ukraine are obviously going to go for it. They'll have nothing to lose. So I think 3-0 this one. An early
still
goal
think
like
Ukraine will
15,
match
20
up.
minutes. Early goal, 15, 20 minutes. Don't know who'll get it. Maybe a Harry Kane penalty. Maybe something convincing. Maybe Sterling. But I think late on we get some new goal scorers. Maybe Jack Grealish gets one. Maybe Foden. Maybe Rashford. Something like that. Just someone to come off and do something. Maybe Sterling. But I think we win 3-0. It's a couple of late goals.
Yeah, I think we're all hopeful of an England win.
We're all hopeful of an England win.
England should win. but
Yeah,
put it
we
that
should
way.
win.
Yeah, but France should have beat Switzerland.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different. We've got to go into
Is
this
it
game
different, though?
thinking. Yeah, we've got to go into this game thinking we win this. I mean, we are favourites for the bookies. We win this. You're playing 2 games at Wembley, and potentially making like 3. So I think that's what they got to go into the game.
Yeah, let's hope, chaps. Right, I think we can leave it there. We're not 100% sure when the next one will be. We'll definitely put something out on Sunday to review the game. Whether we do something before that, unrelated to the Euros maybe, or something, I don't know. So any
Messi's
suggestions,
contract.
let us know. Yeah, cheers, Ben. Just throw our ideas out there.
I
We've
think
got
we,
lots.
we give Messi a contract on here. 20 quid a podcast, I think he takes it, to be honest with you.
If he does, then let's
La
do a chat. If he does take it, that'll be all right. But yeah, we will see you guys at the very latest on Sunday to review England Ukraine. Any topics, discussions, etc., drop in the comments, and we will see you guys on Sunday. Peace.
Peace.